my talk is called High Country, High Consciousness. And if you travel to the high country of Yosemite, like I just did, you would find that people often act with a very high consciousness. And I believe that this occurs because in the high country, there aren't the usual distractions of television, the radio, our work, our job, whatever we're usually busy doing, family dramas. There is a beautiful peace there, for there is beauty, mountains, streams, and the people take time there to go within and experience the oneness. Now, of course, we can experience the oneness wherever we are. And sometimes going on a retreat can help us take that time to remember the truth of who we are. Hiking up a mountain or climbing up the face of El Capitan, like one of the guys I talked to did, and I'll never do, because it's straight, sheer rock climbing. Or sitting by the stream. There was a woman there, I think she was 85, and she used to hike the John Muir Trail and do all kinds of things, but now that was a little beyond her, but she came still to sit by the stream and to experience the peace and beauty of the Tuolumne Meadows high country. Well, we can all take moments to experience that same consciousness, to remember the truth of who we truly are, to remember that we are all connected and that we're, each one of us, expressions of spirit. The thing that is the trick is to keep doing it. Like anything, it takes practice. And doing it once usually doesn't get us there. Well, I would like to share with you a bit about my trip to Yosemite, because there were some interesting experiences there. On one occasion, I hiked in toward Glen Allen, if any of you know it, but it's a beautiful, beautiful hike. And I got to the place where the river tumbles over rocks. So it goes down for about a mile in these beautiful waterfalls. And I climbed down and I sat very close to one of the waterfalls. And as Kathy said in her song, I could see the foam. It was like the water was so alive. The foam was dancing. It was almost like fingers were reaching up to the sky, and there were little diamonds of light. And as I just gazed, I just felt this great oneness, and even the rocks that it was tumbling over just seemed to come alive with spirit. For it's always there. It's just that often we don't notice it. It was a beautiful experience of oneness. And then another experience I had, so I think I compare this to, okay, I could have been home watching TV, but instead I went on a hike up to Mount Hoffman. And it's supposed to be, if you're only going to hike one mountain in Yosemite, hike Mount Hoffman, because you can get a 360-degree view of it. Well, as I hiked, I got to see incredible vistas. I could look as I got high up the mountain, I could see into Yosemite Valley and see the famous Half Dome. And then as I scanned across, there was this vast, vast mass of granite, thousands of feet, a sheer drop. It's called Cloud's Rest. But it's just like almost unbelievable, the mass and awesomeness of it. And then as I gazed more to the left, I saw my favorite mountain peak, Cathedral Peak, which has missed the sculpture of the glaciers, which sculpted so many of the beautiful peaks like Cloud's Rest, but it missed it, and its spire goes up to the sky sharply, and it indeed looks like a cathedral, a European cathedral. And then to the farthest left, I could see back into the Tuolumne Meadows area filled with trees and more domes, like smaller half domes. It was really an incredible experience, and I keep it in my heart. And that's why I recommend that you go on some kind of a retreat. If you don't want to go up a mountain, if you just go sit by a stream, even some people have their own little waterfall at home, just one of those that you buy, just to look at the aliveness of the water and feel the oneness. Because it truly is a wonderful way to feel the oneness and to not be distracted. We have so many wonderful things offered to us in this valley, and I'm not saying don't take advantage of them, but also take time for oneness. Many people have demanding jobs, but even if you're sitting in front of the computer and you just take a couple minutes to stop and look down and just feel the oneness again. When I was hiking, I haven't been exercising enough this year, so I've just been walking mostly, so it was challenging. It was hard to climb up those mountains, but what I found out after days of doing that was, really our bodies are so resilient. The strength comes back. And it made me think of physical practice is like spiritual practice. We need to keep doing it if we're going to get the most out of it, to be our maximum person. One experience I had was going to a place called May Lake, which is a high Sierra camp. It's actually at the base of Mount Hoffman, where you don't have your own tent. You get a tent cabin you share with people, whoever they put you in with, and you get breakfast and dinner.